All right, welcome back. Time right now to bring in our panel. With us today, 2016 Vice Chair for the Indiana Trump campaign, Tony Samuel, and former Communications Director for the Indiana Democrats, Jennifer Wagner-Chartier. We're also joined by two former state lawmakers today, former Republican lawmaker Mike Murphy, former Democratic lawmaker Terry Austin, joining us today for the first time. Great to have you both with us today as well. Finally, a lot of progress on this speaker vote Friday afternoon. As we tape this segment, we still don't know exactly how long it takes to conclude. Maybe by the time you're watching this clip, it already has. But in any case, Terry, it's been quite a situation this week in Washington. How would you compare your experience at the Indiana State House to what we've seen play out this week in a very divided House of Representatives and even a divided Republican caucus?
Well, I would say from my own experience, even when you have that narrow of a margin, we've not had, at least to my recollection, ever this type of a holdout situation for the election of a speaker.
Vote after vote after vote.
Usually this thing is settled way in advance.
And often behind closed doors.
Yes, people know, they know how to count their votes. They know, the speaker's selection is settled. A lot of times, even before, many times before even the election is over, people know who's going to assume that responsibility. They've oftentimes had the responsibility of helping to lead the election and the campaigns, and this has been certainly an entertaining but disappointing event to watch throughout the week.
And these Republican holdouts negotiating for a number of concessions here, Mike, and all of this coming as we mark the 2-year anniversary of January 6th. And as many have noticed this week, some of these same Republicans who are scrutinized for their actions in and around that day are among the same group of Republicans who've been kind of holding things up here for several days in the House.
That's true, but McCarthy's problems started before Trump came into office, and they're still ongoing after Trump is long gone from office and less relevant. So his problems, while they're exacerbated by the Jim Jordans and people like that, he's got some significant problems. He lost in 2015 because of his personal life. That's still hanging over his head. The bottom line is this whole thing reminds me of the Talking Heads song, Burning Down the House. I mean, he's burning down his own house, and he's going to be a weak speaker for how long, we don't know.
Jennifer, how do you view this from the other side of the aisle? Some reports that moderate Republicans might work with Democrats to try and vote down whatever rules package concessions that McCarthy had agreed to here. Do you basically see the same chaos kind of playing out again and again in Congress over the next 2 years?
I do, and if I wear my partisan hat, it is entertaining. As Representative Austin said, it's entertaining. It's also really sad and disappointing because this is a preview of coming attractions. This is what we're going to get for the next 2 years. And McCarthy has probably made deals that he has in no way, shape, or form the capability of keeping, whether that's with Democrats or Republicans. And I think it's a sad day for democracy. And obviously, we've got the January 6th ordeal hanging over our heads. But it's a sad day for democracy when we can't even figure out the basic leadership of a caucus. So what comes next? I mean, I guess as Democrats, we get some more popcorn.
Tony, what's your response to that? And what did you make of Victoria Spartz and her decision to essentially change her vote midweek, voting present instead of voting for Kevin McCarthy, then switching her vote back to McCarthy as momentum built for him on Friday?
Well, I take her at her word that she wanted more deliberation. She wanted more discussion. That's been ongoing in between all of these multiple votes. But I'm going to offer a different perspective. The American public always ranks Congress extremely low, even lower than Joe Biden as president in their approval ratings. On every session, every year, every term.
Almost single-digit approval.
Single-digit approval. There's a reason for that. There's just like this omnibus spending bill, $1.7 trillion that was just passed, 2,000 some pages. The members don't have time to read it. They don't have time to weigh in on it properly. Those are the kinds of things that these holdouts are looking to change.
You find some common cause behind that?
Absolutely. If you're not happy with Congress, and by and large the American public isn't, this is the kind of thing that a few holdouts, a few members are trying to change that. So I wouldn't be too dramatic and come down too much on them. This will be a blip in a month. It'll be resolved. But I think they've made some gains for the American taxpayer.
We'll see how it shakes out in terms of whether we see this same sort of dysfunction in Congress over the next couple of years. We'll see how it all plays out there in Washington. Let's start at the State House right now. The legislative session starts Monday. Governor Holcomb gives his State of the State address on Tuesday. Mike, what are you expecting to hear from the governor as he tries to make the case for additional funding for Indiana schools?
Well, I think it's going to be a stay the course kind of speech with some additional spending because we have the money. He's going to put money, I think $347 million into public health, which badly needed. We're one of the worst in the country as far as our investment in public health. But the one thing I have noticed that there hasn't been much coverage on is his statement in December that we need to do a better job of integrating immigrants into our economy. Now, there's been no substance put around that yet. Maybe we'll hear it on Tuesday. But that's fascinating. No Republican or Democratic governor has ever talked like that.
Especially in the midst of a political conversation, ongoing conversation about immigration. Terry, how do you see this session playing out? A budget session, of course, but will we see other issues pop up, whether it be abortion again or other controversial culture war type issues that we've seen in other states?
Well, I think that you've got the stated agenda, you've got the governor's agenda, and I'm going to pick up on something Mike said. You know, it's not just that we haven't made an investment in public health, it's that our indicators on health are very poor. And public health is an economic development issue. When you talk to the top CEOs, they will tell you they cannot fill the jobs that they have. And they're very worried about the talent drain. People are going to other states. And we have got to keep more workers here. We've got to have healthy workers. So that's part of the reason for having an investment in public health and an investment in education. We've got to continue to educate our kids at higher levels and get more kids into college. Yes, we've got to have them in other areas as well, but we're not doing a very good job, quite honestly.
Tony, can the governor and GOP lawmakers keep the focus on the budget and other major agenda items this year? And what else do you think we might hear from the governor on Tuesday night?
Well, I think there's so many big issues that are spending priorities, and then you've got to have both the Republicans in the Senate and the House weigh in and the fiscal leaders weigh in. So I think they will be able to keep the focus. There will be those that try to distract and make this more about social issues. But the one thing I want to say about the budget, yes, there needs to be more money spent the correct way on education and to get healthcare costs down. But I really like that he is trying to help law enforcement by giving the state police funding that they deserve to increase their pay.
He talked about that as well. Jennifer, quickly, your response to that, and what else are you watching for here as the session gets started?
Yeah, I've said this before. I think that Governor Holcomb has a unique opportunity over the next 2 years to really define his administration, which was interrupted, as we all were, by the pandemic. So I'm really interested in what he decides to hang his hat on, whether it's education funding or public health. What is his legacy going to be? Because I think he has a really great opportunity to craft that narrative.
All right, we'll see how that all shapes up here over the course of the next few months in session, over the course of the next 2 years. Coming up next here on In Focus, we'll look at how the White House and lawmakers in Congress are marking the 2-year anniversary of the January 6th attacks. Stick around, we're back right after this.